Hello, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Atal Chopar. I'm your host Sandeep Kumar Singh. This channel will deal with CBSE syllabi. The material and the content are developed from NCERT textbook and other references are taken from Google. If you like my channel, please do subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you and cheers.
So let's get started. These contents are made based on CBSE revised syllabus for 2020 and 21 session for class 10 board. So our first chapter is resource and development. Topics to be covered in this sessions are classification of resources, development of resources, resource planning in India, land resources, land utilization, land use pattern in India, land degradation and conservation measures, soil as a resource, classification of soils, soil erosion and soil conservation. Sources: everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs provided it is technologically accessible, it means easy to get, economically feasible, enough money to extract it and use it, and culturally accepted by the people, can be termed as resources. There is a strong interdependent relationship between nature, technology and institution. If you see the diagram, human beings are interrelated with all these three factors. Human beings try to extract resources from nature, and with the help of technology, it's try to make it in use, and institution provides them with those technology which can actually help them for a better mankind. Resources can be classified based on origin, basis of exhaustibility, basis of ownership, basis of status of development, which we will discuss in further slides. On the basis of origin, biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources are obtained from the biosphere. Biosphere is a place where land, water and your components of atmosphere interlink, where they meet up, there we find a life. And for this the examples are human being, fisheries, forestry. Abiotic resources include all the non-living things, for example your rocks and minerals. On the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those resources which can be renewed or produced by physical, chemical and mechanical process are known as renewable or replenishable resources. Example: water, wildlife, forest, solar energy, wind energy, etc. Non-renewable resources, the resources which once gets exhausted cannot be remade. So it takes a lot of time, geological time, million of years to form again. So your minerals and fossil fuels are the example of these resources. On the basis of ownership, individual, community, national and international resources. Individual resources are owned by individual, like your own land or house. Resources which are accessible to all the members of the community, example your park and playground are the example for community owned resources. National resources which belongs to a nation, for example your roads, railways, these services are actually natural resources. Resources which have no individual country can utilize, example your ocean water beyond 200 kilometers, those are your international resources. So between 200 kilometers you can actually extract those resources. So we have here the 12 nautical miles. Under UN we have the law of sea convention, which gives a proper guideline for each and every country, so how they can actually extract their resources from marine. So they are actually classified into 4: territorial water, so out to 12 nautical miles it's your territorial water. So beyond 12 nautical miles plus 12 is equal to 24 is actually your contiguous zone. Exclusive economic zone, which is actually very famous for extracting resources, it is extended to around your 200 nautical miles, where we can actually, a country can extract resources there. high, it's after 200 miles we cannot able to access any resources. So this 1 nautical miles is equal to around 1.852 kilometers, and 12 nautical miles is around your 22.224 kilometers. So here we have a diagram which can actually clearly mention about how the territorial zone actually been classified. Our next topic is development of resources. Sustainable development is a development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the needs of future generations. So in the year 1992, in the month of June, more than 100 heads of the state met in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil for the first International Earth Summit. So it was headed for the addressing urgent problems of environmental protection and socio-economic development at the global level. So this convention adopted Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. So in the 20th century we have observed about the global warming, sea level rise, and the degradation of forest and the land resources, and even the erosions of the ocean coast. So for those concerned, the United Nations have actually conducted this agenda at this meeting, where they have discussed about how they can tackle these things, and in the 21st century we will work on it. So Agenda 21 is an agenda that aims at fighting against environmental damage, poverty, disease through global cooperation on common interests, mutual needs, and shared responsibility. One major objective of the Agenda 21 is that every local government should have its own local Agenda 21 to combat environmental degradation.